February 1st, 2019, as the date approaches, we are now going to reveal the depth and breadth of what we've done with Le Pater. I'm sure everybody has been super excited waiting for this. Thank you for your patience. There are definitely points in the last 2 years where I thought that my brain was going to melt from trying to understand all of this. But so this is what we're looking at. This is going to be for a Kickstarter. So we'll put this in Kickstarter so you guys know what this is. Alphonse Mucha's 1899 masterwork. What we've done is we wanted to make it accessible to people who might not be familiar with Le Pater. Are you coming at this from Freemasonry? Are you coming at this from an occult standpoint? Or are you an Art Nouveau lover coming at this from that? We wanted to cover everything. So what we're doing is giving an overview of what the prayer is academically. We then get into Mucha's childhood. This is a piece that he did when he was 6 years old, 8 years old. And then we go back to Dürer. And so what we're doing is we're looking at what the evolution of spiritually themed artwork is, of metaphysical artwork and occult symbology throughout the Middle Ages, the Invisible College, and then leading into the origins of Freemasonry, sacred geometry, which was very difficult to distill into 2 pages, but we did it. Jakob Burma, Flood, all of the metaphysical writings leading up to the godfather of symbolist art, William Blake. Incredible works that have not been printed in any book. And you can see the scale. This, what we're looking at, is the scale of the book. So incredible new photographs of these works that reveal all the detail. Getting into Flammarion and Doré, and then into the Salon Rosaquois. They were the first symbolist art exhibition in Paris in the 19th century. This was the climate that Mucha stepped into when he came to Paris. So we get into Carlos Schwab and Fernand Knopf, the Dante and Beatrix ideologies and symbolism. But so all of this leads into Mucha arriving in Paris. And a more early work of Mucha's, photos of Mucha's apartments, of the cafe where he lived, where he met Strindberg and the other occultists, getting into the salons and seances that Mucha held in his parlor. This is a woman in a trance in Mucha's salon. And then leading into Art Nouveau. So all of this is still leading towards understanding the foundation of Le Pater. So then we're giving a basic overview. This is Art Nouveau Bing's salon, where the first Art Nouveau works were shown. And then getting into Mucha's career, doing kind of just a simple overview. Again, for if you're coming at this from an occult point of view, we wanted you to understand who Mucha was. If you know Mucha, then it's just kind of a nice refresher of the works like Le Sorcière and Salambo that do have an occult or metaphysical theme. Then, again, more fantastic. Then we enter the exploration of Mucha working on illuminated books and manuscripts, and getting into William Blake again, Carlos Schwab again, a bunch of paintings that Mucha did for other books. And then the World's Fair. The World's Fair is where Mucha exhibited Le Pater for the first time. And this really was the culmination of all of the metaphysical Parisian salon ideologies mixed with the, of course, new art of Art Nouveau. So we really, by the time you get to this point, you understand both the mysticism ideologies that lead to this point, but also the aesthetic and design ideologies that lead to this point. So then, of course, Mucha had a huge presence at the World's Fair, and we address that this is where Le Pater was exhibited, and then, I think I skipped a page. I'm sure I skipped a lot of pages. And then, of course, Le Pater. this is the printout for collation. I will grab. This is the color samples. So then when we're looking at Le Pater, we've got all of the indicia and everything reproduced. And then we've got, of course, you've got the title page, original sketches, and some of his inspirations, a 13th century illuminated manuscript, more of his sketches. And so, go through everything, but it's all in here. All of Mucha's Le Pater with all of the preliminary sketches are in here. All the, again, incredibly detailed preliminary sketches. And then we get a little bit into, am I out of order? No, it's after this, okay. With that love. It was also released in the Czech Republic. They pulled some of the copies for the Czech market, and I go into detail about how and why and what the variations were there. More of we didn't put all of these in with the other book in large format, but so here we go into the detail of what it took to get to the finished pieces. And then after Le Pater, what happened? What path did Mucha's art career follow? We've got some incredible spreads from the Slav epic, some really rare pieces that he did for his Masonic Lodge. These are, oh my gosh, gotta pull these out. The way that these printed, what? Were just magnificent. And look at the scale. They're so big. They're so big. And then these medals, which aren't, there's no high resolution versions of these anywhere. So I'm very indebted to the Freemasonry Museum in London, who owns these. This one came from Mucha's family. And then we end with an epilogue that's just got some great, more rare photos of Mucha that have never been in a book before. These are original photographs that we located. But so this mountain of work is the result of the years that it spent, or that I spent, I should say, or that we spent. Collating all of this material, getting everything ready. The original book was this much. And then what's happened is that this is how much we've expanded it. And all of this is just, I'm hoping that you feel that your patience has been rewarded. All of these original paintings, never before published, photographs of the World's Fair. If you have every Mucha book, it doesn't matter, there's a ton in here of Muchas that you haven't seen. If you have every book on symbolist art, every book on metaphysics, all of that, there's still things in here that you haven't seen. There's rare photographs, there's rare paintings, and even the pieces that you have seen, like the Salon Rosa Croix poster's never been in the book before. Even the ones that you have seen, from the original negatives, they're printed large and beautiful, so you've never seen them in this detail. So that's it. So we're gonna make a nicer video to show some more details. But the reason we wanted to put this up is that, so it's February 1st now. The plan is that we're gonna just start revealing more and more and more now that we're finally in the final stretch of these books being in the world. We can't wait. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.